All right, welcome back everyone. Dr. Ben, not a real doctor here. And today I want to talk about my path to eliminating pain. So 2020 was supposed to be the year that I eliminated all my pain. That was the goal. But a huge pile of things ended up happening that sort of, we'll say, distracted me from that goal, and I didn't really put much focus on it. And in a lot of ways, my pain got worse. Now, quick history about me. I've been an athlete my entire life. Starting from 9 years old, I competed very seriously in swimming up till 18. And then, various sports. I went into the military. I did a couple months of SEAL training. I got out. I was an amateur fighter. I've wrecked motorcycles, four-wheelers. I've ridden a few bulls. So I've really put a lot of miles on my body. And that's where a lot of this desire to fix my body came from, was just breaking myself constantly, honestly, and trying to put myself back together. And now that's where this channel comes from, is me trying to give back and share what I've learned in the process of putting myself back together. So one of the problems of that lifestyle was just the work through the pain mentality. You have the athlete where it's like you have to compete, you have to compete, you have to keep training, no pain, no gain. And then obviously, SEAL training, there's like, it's literally, you just have to deal with it. And that mentality kind of gets wired into you. And there comes a point where you realize, well, hopefully you realize, that all of this work, all of this pain isn't supposed to be there, and training through it is not the right approach. And I really started to coming to that realization a few years ago, which was the birth of my MoveNat practice. But one of the things I love about MoveNat is that MoveNat starts from the beginning. You go back to the beginning. So humans have a developmental pattern from the time we start moving until the time we learn to run, basically. And pretty much everybody follows this developmental pattern. Now, everything starts with groundwork. As infants, we lay on the ground. We have to learn to roll over. We have to learn to get our legs under us. We have to get up onto all fours and learn crawling, which teaches us a lot of the pattern we need for walking and everything else, really. Ipsilateral, the right hand, left leg, left hand, right leg. That contrary, that twisting motion is foundation for most of our movement patterns, especially locomotion. And we learn that from crawling. These foundational movements are absolutely essential for building up to modern patterns. I don't want to modern patterns, that doesn't make sense. Not modern patterns, we're talking adult patterns. The movement patterns we use throughout our life. So if there are problems in these foundational patterns, you're gonna have problems in the more advanced patterns. So one of the best ways to eliminate your pain is to go back and revisit these foundational patterns. So things like rolling over, base building, which is getting your knees up under you, or pushing up into an all fours position, the hand-knee position, practicing the hand-knee position to work on core stabilization with contralateral stabilization. I think I said ipsilateral earlier. That is same side. Contralateral is across opposite sides. Ipsilateral is same side. So if I said that, pardon my mistake there. So we don't use ground movement very often anymore because we sit in chairs where there's no reason for us to get up and down from the floor. There's no reason for us to roll over or change sitting positions because we sit in a chair, we sit in a car, we sit at a desk. These are movement patterns that we have highly neglected, and they're foundational patterns for all of our movement patterns. So today I just want to share some of the basic things that I'm going to be working on and walk you through, not so much instruction, just share and let you guys see what these things look like. Anyway, let's switch over and I'll share with you some of these movement patterns. Always got to look for dog poop. All right, so let's start at the very beginning here. So if you're laying on your back, step one is to get over to your stomach. Otherwise, you can't get your knees under you. So I'm going to show you two ways here. You can use your legs or you can use your arms, and I'm going to try not to blow you up smacking this mic here, rolling around. So step one is you can use your leg to get your body going. And you can see that as I bring the weight of my leg over, my whole body starts to rotate. Then the trick is just to get out of the way. You can do one arm up, both arms up, whatever you want to do, but you just roll over. To go back the other way, you just reverse it. Pick the leg up, swing it over, and roll back over. All right, that's step one. And then there's learning to keep your core tight so that the movement transfers better. And really, it takes very little effort to do this, but it's a great way to integrate your whole body and stabilize. You can do the same thing using your arm. So you can direct your arm over and roll over. You can go back the other way. It's a little more challenging depending on your mobility levels, but again, a great way to integrate your whole body. You can also, if you want to take this to a higher level, you can simply use the flexion of your core to roll yourself over. And this is a fantastic core integration exercise. Now, what to do once you get rolled over? Next step is get your legs under you, get into an all fours position. Now there are, again, two ways you can do this. You can bring your knees up under you, or you can just simply push up. So first one, knees under you, and up into a hand knee. The other way is a push-up. You just push up into a hand knee. Okay, knees under you, up into a hand knee. Or the push-up, just push up. Now from here, I talked about contralateral before. So right hand, left leg, left hand, right leg. And you just want to practice, watch where your spine is. All right, you don't want to use, this is not hip mobility. All right, this is spine mobility. Hip mobility works with a fixed spine. So you can see it's my hip moving here. Spine is staying relatively level. Same thing on the opposite side. So this is something to really watch out for. You want to be using your hips and not your back. That's where a lot of back pain comes from, using your back instead of your hips. So next thing you want to practice is the contralateral movement. And you would be surprised how many people have an issue with this when they first start working on crawling because they haven't done it in a long time. So take your time, focus on the movement. Now, what to do from here? You want to get up to your feet. So the simplest way is to keep pushing your hands back and rocking back on your hips until you're into a deep squat. Then you can just stand up. So just keep walking back. Now you're having to learn to stabilize your core and hips to pivot on your feet. And then you're just down into a deep squat. You can also walk up and stop in a deep kneeling position. And then from here, it's all just standing up. If you need to make this a little easier, you can come up here and walk up and stand up. So that is, in a real quick nutshell, sort of the human development pattern to getting up to standing. And from there, it's just learning to balance on a longer level, the whole human body, and practicing your movement, building your stabilization. Now, working on all these basic foundation, especially, believe it or not, the rolling over is gonna do a lot to help stabilize and open up your hips and shoulders. It's a great way to get a larger range of motion than we usually get because we don't do a lot of twisting. So even just spending 10, 15 minutes a day practicing rolling over can do a lot to help alleviate back problems because now you're engaging your hips. Anywho, this is going to be, as I was saying, the focus for the next probably 30 to 60 days of mine, just to undo a lot of the damage I've done to my body. If you guys would like to join, hit me up in the comments down below. I'm happy to share what I have going on in this regard, or any tips, tricks, whatever. I do have a lot of links on my website for demonstrations of these exercises if you'd like to see them. So visit benjaminsmith.com, Benjamin with a Y, links down below in the details. If you like the video, smash the thumbs up, share the video with your friends, and if you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing. Until next time, keep your life in motion.